right, here we go. Hi everybody, it's Jim from County Corvette. I have a 64 Coupe from the 70s. Does that make sense? Well, let me help you make sense of it. This was a really nice, clean 64 Coupe that somebody in the 70s said, we got to make it custom. We got to have tucked and pleated seats, door panels, rear fender flares, candy color, which was an early like House of Color back in the day. The side exhaust, headers, and lots of chrome. Now the engine was modified a little bit. It's got a pretty healthy cam in it. And what I can say is, you know, by today's standards, this is not a current custom. You know, current custom today is a 21, 23, you know, late model with, you know, an exhaust and wheels and some, you know, a bigger wing. Times change, but there's something nostalgic about the 70s. Let's be honest, the music was better. I can tell you, my 18-year-old daughter, she loves the 70s music. And you know, I took her to see Roger Waters. The 70s were just cool in a lot of ways. And this is a 70s custom. You know, the people who own these cars and were modifying them in the 70s, they're you know, kind of getting up there. This car had been off the road up until 2019, and it was, it went through a wake up, you know, fuel flushed, brakes flushed and all that. And then, you know, they kind of used it a little bit and, you know, came to the realization that it's just not a practical car for them anymore, approaching 80. So that said, you know, we took it in to sell for them. You know, it's actually a nice car. It's an unhit body. It's a power window car. It's a power brake car. The car is actually, you know, the interior is really nice. What is still pure in it, the dash pads and all that stuff. So, you know, if this doesn't really work for you and you were looking for a great car, you know, it's really priced well. The paint's actually still holding together really well. It's lacquer, so it's got some checking going on, but not bad. Just up where there's a lot of heat. But generally speaking, the car runs and drives really well. It's got, you know, these wire wheels on it. And if you love it like this, I mean, like I said, you know, the 70s have their appeal, whether it be music, cinema, you know, whatever it is. That's what County Corvette's built on, is nostalgia. So, you know, if you like the car as it sits, just like this, rock and roll, man, drive it. It was featured in magazines back in the day, and it was really well done. Somebody spent the money to do it right back then. Is it everybody's cup of tea? No. You know, that's why I joke about the sideburns and bell bottoms. But, you know, I was a little kid during that era, and, you know, I remember, you know, roller skating or, under a disco ball. It was actually good times. So, you know, it brings back some memories. This is what I remember. This and, you know, the 75, 6 era, 77, you know, the vans, the van craze. I was a little, man, I was a little kid, but I do remember it well. It was a cool time. So, you know, check it out. If it's something that works for you as it is, you're not going to do better. The car is really a great car as it sits. Or you could bring it back a little bit and make it, you know, something that fits in today's scenario. But all that said, we're going to go for a ride and, you know, run it through the gears. Okay, so this thing starts up good. It's up to temp. It's a hot day today here. And overall the car feels good. The clock's not working. One thing I did see on the operations sheet, and we haven't corrected it, and I will throw this in the sale, the passenger side switch for the window, passenger side window switch, is in backwards. It's a huge pet peeve of mine, because one's correct and one obviously isn't, and that kind of thing drives me crazy. So we'll take care of that. But overall, the car is pretty nice. We had it detailed. Yeah, it just spent a lot of time sitting, and now it's back to life, and you know, it's doing well. It's alive. Transmission's really nice in this thing too, and that gives me a very good indication of the life it's had. And really hasn't been beat up. I mean, it's not, you know, sloppy and vibrating and everything else. The car actually feels really good. Now, it's loud. Not a whole lot louder than a stock side exhaust car, but because these have baffles in them, I mean, they're actually legal. It's a legal exhaust system, but it's loud, so something to be aware of. It was probably a 365 horse back in the day. I believe that's what the code is for, and yeah, it's 6,500 RPM car. So it was built to go. You know, the gauge assembly's in nice shape too, and I can tell it's never been touched. So that's kind of cool. It does have a custom steering wheel in it, so its drivability is a little bit better, not having the bigger wheel. But really, you know, the car feels nice. The bigger tires on the back, you know, they're going to pick up some road imperfections. Power brakes feel real good in it too. It's actually a very comfortable driver. All right, here we go. That thing runs right up the red line, and it feels good. I mean, this car is actually really nice and smooth. So, it's just under 70 miles an hour. This thing feels great. Again, the back tires are a little wider than normal, and you know, you're going to pick up some road imperfections. But it's actually a really nice car.